Okay, guys, we're back with another episode of the Filmaholic here. We've got some live reactions for the Oscars.
Scumbag always got to go for the views. And never mind. We all got to pay that bank account one way or the other. Man, goddamn it, man. Not trying to sound like an old, crazy ass Republican, but god damn, man, like little by little, I understand what they're talking about every now and then.
Continue, please.
Like, people are going like diversity, diversity, diversity. I'm just like, are you just getting these people just because the sake of it? Like, just because you're trying to like being like,
I mean, it's forced. It's not.
Yeah, like I'm just like, are you just being like some like neo ass liberal? Which
What are you referring to? Are you
it's just like, are you picking these people because you want to have your movie diverse, but you don't give a shit how good or terrible they are, or are you actually picking them because they're actually good?
Give me some examples. What are you talking about?
Like, fuck, like I like remember the girl that chick that got nominated for Harriet.
Yes.
I do think she's great, and I feel she's gonna get more nominations to come. I really do, and like I really do love her work so far.
I agree. She was great in Bad Times at El Royale.
Bad Times, and I'm loving her right now.
Just watched, by the way, and she was the lead of that film.
Yeah, which I think she should got some praise from that. Also, I'm watching The Outsider. She's great in that, but I just didn't feel like she should have got that nomination.
I didn't see Harriet, and it kind of I did want to see it. I actually did want to go to the theater and see it because I think the trailer actually did look good to me. It just happened to be around the time that we moved up here, so I didn't have a lot of time to go to the theater at that point. It was like around August, September when that film came out here, so I didn't get a chance to go see it. And by the time that I probably could have found it somewhere to watch for the Oscars, I had heard from many people that it wasn't that good of a film. So that's why I never got around to even watching it.
Oh, nah, bro. She picked up that skirt and started running like she was Tom Cruise. Fuck. I'm not kidding. And they made Harriet tough. They made Harriet like, she's a badass, but like they made the chick look like she was like John Wick and shit.
No, but it's been like that. It's been like that for several years, and I agree with you. Like, there's been people nominated that shouldn't have been nominated just for the sake of it.
Yeah, like, and then like, basically overall story, first diversity. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time. Or some other thing. Then with the one thing about the Academy that really pisses me off. Remember when they said like about the first female composer?
Yes.
I'm just like, I was really happy for that moment, but I'm just like, this is not the 92nd, and we should have been past long that like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
We should have had like at least 20 of them by now. And I'm just like, these fools are just like, I feel like they're just doing all the shit. I'm just like, all right, people keep bitching about this. Let's throw this in right now. People keep bitching about this. Throw this in right now. People are bitching about.
I'm so tired of, like reactionary things in the show in general, in everything, movies, whatever. Reactionary. It's to everything, and instead of naturally earning something, naturally evolving into something, I don't know, like. Just the stuff with the hosts too. Can we talk about that this year? Like, first of all, there was no host, which was a mistake from the beginning. There should have been a host. There should always be an Oscar host. It was stupid not to have one last year. It was even dumber not to have one this year, when you definitely could have planned it from the very beginning to have a host. The jokes fell completely flat. Like, there were hardly any jokes in the award show that were worth, listening to. The only ones that I laughed at, the only person that came up there that I actually thought was funny was Will Ferrell. I did get some laughs from him.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I wanted that shit to be overdone with.
I mean, everything went on too long. Every time there was someone up there telling the jokes, they went on too long. But I did find a little bit of him funny, and it's Will Ferrell. Other stuff, everyone else, the jokes fell flat. Even if it was like stuff that were supposed to be like relevant, like the Oscar so white, whatever have you, nothing worked for me. I didn't like it. The first two people to come out to talk were Chris Rock and Steve Martin, and I made the comment during the live stream: is this 2004? Why was everyone that they kept having come out like? It doesn't matter if I like them or not. It's just like, are they relevant or should they be at the Oscars this year? Why were Steve Martin and Chris Rock there? Now you can make the argument, well, Chris Rock, he has the new Saw movie. He's got a lot of stuff he's coming up working on right now, like with Fargo and whatever. I think he has another show maybe. He's making sort of like a comeback, I guess you would say. But it's just, I don't know. Like I don't know who makes these decisions to pick the presenters. Whoever is over everything at the Oscars, in my opinion, should not be doing it. There should be someone else.
What else with the other fucking Academy? Then like that shit going on. Like some people like, well, like majority of the fucking Academy doesn't even watch all the movies.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the fuck? Because like I look at these certain nominations, and I'm just like, these motherfuckers were just going off whatever people were saying.
I honestly think that. And there was an argument that I saw on Twitter recently. Someone said that to be eligible to vote for the awards, you should see every film. And then someone else was arguing against that, and it's like, that's unrealistic to be able to do that. You can't watch every film. And I understand that. It is unrealistic to put the expectation on someone to watch every single film that comes out in a year. Okay, true. But you should watch as many films as you possibly can if you are in the position to vote at the Oscars. And you should damn well watch every film that's nominated before you vote on a winner. Like, yeah, definitely. If there is a voter who's not watched every film that's nominated, they should not be eligible to vote at all. Because that's just laziness. You should not be able to be in that position to vote if you have not watched all those films.
Even if you plus they had at least 3 weeks to prepare.
Right, and they don't have to pay for these screens. Like, they get into these stuff for free and to see these films.
It's like, here's my pass, bitch.
Like, I work a full-time job. I'm not even in that business yet. But I make it a point to see most of the films, as many as I can, before I judge them. And so it's like, if someone has that opportunity where they can watch every film and it's their, like, career, they should be doing it.
It's like, I'm just like, it's like, well, I don't know, but it's your fucking job. Like, you're supposed to do this. Like, if you like to work out, then fucking buy a TV stand and have the damn TV in front of your treadmill. Or in front of your squat rack, or right up there when you're bench pressing or something. Like, God.
Well, why wasn't Peanut Butter Falcon nominated for more awards, Which I don't think...
I would have given that, what was it for, like, well, for original screenplay or something, I would have given it like something like that.
It definitely should have got an original screenplay nomination. But goes back to it, I don't think many people watched that film that were voting.
They were just like...
And, like, the Zach, who plays the lead in that film, he wasn't even asked to be in the Oscars. Shia LaBeouf was asked to be up there hosting, and he's the one that invited Zach. He said he would only do it if Zach could come up there. So, I mean, why wasn't Shia nominated this year?
Like, I don't know, like, what is it? Then, like, I'm not gonna lie, I mean, I did told you she could possibly win. Remember that?
Who?
Laura Dern.
I knew Laura Dern was gonna win support. Are you talking about recently or in the past?
No, like, the last night.
I mean, I knew she was gonna win last night because she's won all of the other stuff leading up to this. She was the front runner. Pretty much all of the frontrunner of the acting categories won what we were expecting, but that's the thing where like I go online and people are talking about Laura Dern and I'm like, did you guys watch the film or do you guys just like Laura Dern and want to be like hip and cool and talk about it on Twitter and like all this bullshit? Because she definitely did not deserve to win supporting actress. Her performance in Marriage Story was not better than Florence Pugh in Little Women, and it wasn't better than Scarlett Johansson and Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, I haven't seen Little Women, so I can't talk shit about that. But
Florence Pugh should have won supporting actor this year. Supporting actress, sorry.
Nah, I'm gonna give that to Scarlett, but
But you haven't seen Little Women.
Yeah, I ain't fucking watching it.
If I hadn't seen Little Women, I would go with Scarlett Johansson for Jojo Rabbit. But her performance in that film was great.
Look, man, I'm not seeing that shit till I get that on Blu-ray. All right. Nah,
her performance is enough for you to get the film in general. Like that scene with her talking to Timothée Chalamet about marriage, that alone is worth the price of to buy the Blu-ray.
Oh man, that's the kind of like conversations I have with my coworkers. So that's just for me like another day. But I'm sorry. Nah, but in all seriousness though, like I don't know, like I probably would have been cool with. I don't know, like my pissed off meter was nowhere to be seen during that category. I was just kind of like, all right, if ScarJo won, excitement, boom. If Lauren when Lauren Dern won, I was just like, okay, cool. I'm not mad. I was like that Obama me face. I was like, not bad.
I wasn't pissed because I knew it was happening. If I thought that Florence Pugh was actually going to win, and then she didn't, and Laura Dern won, then I would be pissed. But like I expected it, so like I didn't have that level of being pissed. But I just don't think it's. And I'm not saying Laura Dern was bad in Marriage Story. She wasn't. She had a good performance, but it was nothing special. I've seen better with her on Big Little Lies.
I was about to say that's basically what we see on Big Little Lies.
Exactly.
That's what basically it was, and that's why I loved her in it.
So. And then I was thinking about, and I know it's different categories and you have to judge each, but you're thinking about it and it's like she won for Marriage Story, but Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson didn't. Those performances were incredible, like the best performances of the year, and they didn't win for that film.
And what was the other one? Then what is it? Just real quick, we'll get to the big ones in later. I mean, the Brad Pitt, obviously, we expected that one.
Brad Pitt was the most deserved award of the night.
I mean, I want to say deserved, but it was well earned.
I think there were two awards that I was there were at least 4 awards I was happy with.
Well, it was well earned and deserved.
The 4 awards that I was most happy with was Brad Pitt for supporting actor, Taika Waititi for adapted screenplay, which I was surprised. I didn't think that it was actually.
I knew it was going to happen. I
thought that it was going to be something like Joker or Irishman or some bullshit. Like I'm very happy that JoJo actually won because it was deserved. Which I'm very confused now because I just saw a story where like someone else is helping him write Thor, Love and Thunder, and I'm like, you just won an Oscar, but whatever. Okay. Those two and the composer winning for Joker, because while I didn't really like Joker, the score was great and she deserved that.
Oh, yeah, I was happy about that.
And then the ladies winning for the production design for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Those were the awards I was really happy about.
What were the nominees for production design?
I don't remember all of them. I would have to.
Because like I had 2 options. Like my heart one was obviously Once Upon a Time because I was just like, well, it's like but like I think the other one was Parasite, and I thought it was like the Academy's gonna probably go for Parasite because that was like the safest bet.
Insane, because if you look at Hollywood and the way it looks now, and how they transformed one of the biggest cities in the world back into what it looked like in 1969, that's incredible. Like it was a major achievement for them, and I'm very happy they won.
Yeah, it's like Oh, let me tell you about like I know you must have been happy about this one, but animated film. Ah, Jesus Christ! It was a good run for Claus, but I really
I
wanted
didn't get to really celebrate it because my like my stream went out, so I was trying to get it situated. But I did find out the Toy Story 4 won, so I'm really happy
Yeah,
about
like
that.
when I found out about that, I was ready to like get in my car, buy a shotgun, and drive up to where you live right now. I was like, well, if Claus can celebrate, well, I guess he won't too.
But and this is a separate thing because Toy Story 4 I do think deserved to win. But the whole Netflix film thing, what do you think about Netflix in terms of the Oscars? Do you think that's still a thing? Because going into this award season, I thought that the Academy were past it. Because I thought Marriage Story was going to win some stuff. Irishman got this big push. I think more than Marriage Story even did. But neither one of them, I don't. Did they take anything home other than Laura Dern with the supporting actress?
No,
So yeah, I don't know. I kind of wonder if the Netflix angle was there something there from that.
look, man. The only way that shit is ever gonna change is if the Academy, the current Academy, like the old dudes, die and we go. That's the only way it's ever gonna change.
But see, that's another issue is
It
that
sounds harsh, but I just
it,
think that's like my thinking of that.
I wonder how my perception of this will change in a year from now when I'm living in Los Angeles because those films are able to watch in a theater there. Now I know that if you have Netflix, you probably a lot of people still will watch it on Netflix and not go see it in a theater. But if you're living in somewhere like LA, New York, you can go see those films in a theater and not have to watch it on Netflix. They come out like a normal film there.
Like, yeah, because like my first reaction like years ago was it was kind of mixed, but after that I started thinking it was like this is actually a pretty good idea because most of the movies you see in theaters now are big blockbuster movies now. So it's kind of hard.
They're event films.
Yeah, big event films. So it's kind of hard to get films like let's say Booksmart in there or like Once Upon a Time. But the reason why Once Upon a Time got in there is because of the names and Tarantino. That's it.
Tarantino. That's why. Yes, Tarantino.
Tarantino and the cast. That's just it. Like Blade
But
Runner.
that's the thing. Tarantino is an event. His name is an event.
So like it's just hard like how I said like movies like Booksmart or like I know you're mixed about this one, but Call Me by Your Name is hard for those kind of movies to get like releases, but when they do, it's just gonna be limited releases. So I think Netflix or Prime or like hell HBO or whatever streaming services out there is a great opportunity for those kind of films to get like more exposure because and also it's just like people nowadays we live in a society that's just like fast paced like that. And what I mean by that is just we all have different things to do, and going to the movies is pretty pricey.
Definitely.
And plus, like, and also Netflix, like, dude, we know people like from like high school or from college that still watch, like, they watch some shitty ass films on Netflix, dude. They go, that's pretty good. That's really good. You ever seen Never Back Down 4? That's really good. Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like it's just like and they can stumble upon like I don't know like fucking Marriage Story that can kind of gives them like all right let me give it a shot.
Yeah.
It's like if they gave a shitty movie like that a chance, I'm pretty sure they can give Marriage Story a shot. So it is a really big
Well, it's
positive.
attention spans and what people are interested in when they go see a film, when they watch a film, and yeah, I mean, I think Netflix is a great thing, and all of these streaming services giving opportunity to more films. Um,
Even Brad Pitt discussed it with his one-on-one with Adam Sandler. Like
yeah, that was another thing. I watched that, and I definitely agree with it. Um, I don't know. I don't ever want to see cinema go away, like going to a movie, because I love that experience. And I think I'm gonna love it more when I'm living in LA. And that's not me just saying that because it's there, but today, when I see films, the most important aspect of watching that film is the audience that you watch it with. And I'm not just talking about how they react, but it's awesome because, I'd seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I've seen it in theaters 4 times now. It's my favorite. It's my favorite film. And it was my second favorite film after the first time I watched it. But it wasn't until the 4th time I watched it, that when I watched it at New Beverly, that the experience in the theater became my favorite movie-going experience because of the energy of the people in that auditorium and how they responded to the film. People that had seen it before, people that hadn't seen it before, and their just reaction to it and how, no one had their fucking phones out. No one was like just casually talking about like whatever on Twitter or Instagram, then, whatever. Like they were just watching the fucking movie. And every time around, I go see a movie at Regal now because I have Regal Unlimited, and I try to go see as many films as I can. I'm taken out of the movie going experience because people next to me are on their phones, looking up whatever, talking. I saw some movie recently where like people were like talking and jumping up and down in front of me. I'm like, what is happening? Why do you pay this money to go see a film and not watch it? Which at that point, why didn't you just stay home and watch Netflix?
Or walk out and ask for a fucking refund.
You just ruin it for everyone. And that goes to another thing too. Well, we were talking about the Oscars, and I'm going off on this tangent here, but it's like movie theater chains and stuff too, and wanting to get people in the theater and wanting to keep people watching. Please tell me before I pay up for your subscription or go to your theater who you're trying to get into your theater. Are you trying to get the casual person who isn't watching the film and just wants to sit in there and like fuck around? Or are you trying to get people to actually watch the film? Because I want.
But you get 10% off concessions. Sorry.
I don't care about the concessions. I want to watch the fucking movie.
We like a drink with that, sir?
I'm out of my.
Go on. But I don't know, man. By the time me and you have kids, or probably you, because I probably won't have kids till I'm fucking 39. But like,
by the time we have kids, they're probably not, the cinema experience is going to be so much different. Because honestly, I think it's going to turn out some point, and this is not in the next 5 years. This is some point in the future, probably after we have kids. But I think movie theaters are going to change drastically, and I think it is going to only be like amusement parks, like Martin Scorsese says. And I think you'll have to end up going somewhere like L.A. or New York or occasional other big cities to watch a film in a theater and get the true experience. Otherwise, you're going to be at home watching it on Netflix or whatever streaming service. Because the casual theater is only going to show amusement park films.
Yeah, it's like.
And I'm not bashing on Marvel or whatever. Like I'm just saying, like how the audience responds to the film.
I mean, Marvel, wonderful people. We love them over there, but yeah, it's just like I don't know, man. Like that is why part of I'm happy that Parasite won because like it's just like I think for me Parasite represents movies like Once Upon a Time and stuff like that. Mostly like like movies that should probably get more attention if you know where I'm going with it. Because like
oh my gosh.
Jesus Christ.
I'm trying not to bash on Parasite because I really do like Parasite. It's an excellent film. I give it 4.5 stars. I really like it. I'm just upset because I don't think it should have won Best Picture. And that, like Once Upon a Time is my favorite film, so it's like me being a little biased here, I guess. So I try to take that out of it. But I was talking to
like you're mostly speaking from your heart, basically here.
Right. But looking at it, if I take Once Upon a Time out of it, and even to a degree, if I take Marriage Story out of it, because if I'm looking at, even though I think Marriage Story is the second best film of this year, or 2019, if I'm looking at what should win Best Picture, and Parasite's not a bad one to choose. But if I'm looking at what should win Best Picture based on every category, like directing, writing, character, the acting, cinematography, the message of the film, the story, all of that, I think Jojo Rabbit probably should have won Best Picture.
Yes. 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 Dang, you actually do have a brain. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think that's just for me. Like, I don't know. Like, after last night, this shit is just like fucking like. It's either if you like. It's like like basically the Oscars is just like fucking prom. Like you're gonna just get one nominated and win. It's just because you're the popular person in the fucking in the in that for that specific stage.
Yeah.
Like that's just what it's basically gonna be. That's what every fucking award show to me it is. Because that's just like honestly,
Just based off popularity.
Yeah, like based off popularity, or if
I wouldn't necessarily go with that. But I think you're on to something. I don't think it's necessarily popularity, but it is.
One of us is like, oh, that guy, cool guy. Oh, that guy helped me this one time. Yeah.
It's sort of like that, and it's also people campaigning, studios campaigning, and who people know and stuff like that. I mean, some of it's well deserved. Like I said, Brad Pitt I think is well deserved, and that also may be the Academy. And while I do think he should have won for it, maybe the Academy going, he's he's been in a lot of stuff. Maybe it's time for him. People are responding well to this performance this year.
That's also my thing because like for me it's just like I still like because when you give someone like when Gary Oldman won that trophy, like the Oscar, I feel like it was more like a participation trophy. I didn't pronounce it
right. That's what I'm saying. That's not like a popularity thing because like
that's what I meant. But still, it's still one of those moments. Just like, all right, I feel bad for this guy, so here
Gary Oldman's incredible, but I don't think he should have won that year either. I think there were better. He's a character actor, and that's what he was doing in that film. That's what he was doing in Darkest Hour, was becoming a character. And was it really the best actor of 2017? I don't think so. I think James Franco was better in The Disaster Artist. I think Ryan Gosling was better in Blade Runner 2049. I think Hugh Jackman was better in Logan.
Well, current what the nominations were that year, I would have been cool with either like Daniel or Timothy. That's just for those nominations. But like, I don't know, if I was Gary Oldman, just like
Daniel, like you talking about Get Out?
Yeah.
No.
But that's another subject for their time.
Okay.
But like, what I'm trying to say is just like, if I was Gary Oldman, I wouldn't want that Oscar. Like, I wouldn't felt earned. Like, if I came up to that stage and cried, it's because like, all right, like. All those years of sacrificing and going through all that shit that was paid off, and like I have the backing of millions of people backing me. But like, no, like I rather die on my deathbed with 5 nominations, 0 wins, but know that I gave it all my all, and people then like pitied me. Like I'd rather go out like that instead of having like 5 nominations, 1 win, but that one's just because like people were just like, oh, well, here, thank you for your contributions for cinema. Like no, like. No, dude, no.
Well, and that brings me to another thing. Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio, he is my personal 3rd favorite actor.
Look, man, that man is still winning. Do you see his woman? He's winning no matter what.
Well, he's my 3rd favorite actor. I think Leo's the best actor working today. And maybe of all time. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen a bad performance from Lee. There's been bad movies I don't like, J. Edgar, Great Gatsby, what have you. I've never seen a bad performance from Leonardo DiCaprio. And more recently, he's only been doing prestigious things. Like, he is an incredible actor, and he should have multiple Oscars under his belt. But instead, he has one, and it's for The Revenant. And I honestly don't think he should have won for The Revenant. I think Michael Fassbender should have won that year for Steve Jobs, and I think that would have changed, Fassbender's career from what it is now if he had won. Maybe. We'll see.
Are you trying to make me cry right now?
his performance in Steve Jobs was incredible, and he should have won for it. Not throwing off on Leo, because his performance was great too, and I think it was the second best leading actor performance in that year. But he should have won. He should have won for Django Unchained for supporting actor. And you look.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
I don't think he should have won for Wolf of Wall Street. Personally, I think.
Really, man?
I think McConaughey should have won that year.
I don't know, man. After that quote, I will not die sober. For me, that was it. Oh man, like that. I don't know. Man, Connie House gave me some pretty good memes. So.
You also got Gilbert Grape, like another supporting actor nom or award that he should have taken home. It's just they end up people winning for awards that I don't think they should have won for. A lot of the times.
You've seen Tropic Thunder, right? Everyone basically has.
What?
You seen Tropic Thunder, right?
No, what's that?
You never seen Tropic Thunder, the movie?
I've seen Tropic Thunder, dude.
Okay, I was about to fucking get to that screen. All right, this movie basically did this. Okay, remember that part when Robert Downey Jr.'s character is like talking to Ben Stiller about Tom Hanks and Forrest Gump?
I got a thing to come back to, but go ahead.
You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
No, I don't remember the movie that well.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
So, in that scene, Robert Downey is in character, him being the blackface. And he tells Ben Stiller, saying, basically, I'm just going to paraphrase here. It's all right, he didn't get nominated for, what? I think he said something about, no one's gonna remember him for being the retarded guy or whatever, blah blah blah. They're just gonna remember him fucking being the paintball war veteran. It's that's how you fucking win awards. I don't know. I think I'm just mostly wrong here, but look that video up. This guy's just straight up speaking facts. That's how you fucking win awards nowadays.
I'm trying to think about what I was going. Okay, what I was going back to.
It's just
and the Oscars too. Okay, so think back to that. Robert Downey Jr. was nominated for an Oscar for Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, it was great.
That
shit, dude. That's my top 5 right there.
He was nominated for an Oscar for Tropic Thunder, but he didn't get an Oscar nomination for playing Tony Stark.
Dude, don't disrespect that character. Was literally one take away Marvel and stuff.
I'm not saying it was a bad performance, but you're telling me that was better than him playing Tony Stark.
I mean, were you giving me from Endgame? Then yeah, that's the best thing ever. That dude was just, yeah. Dude, the dude delivered that was a perfect. To me, that was a perfect, good written character. The performance was great as hell, and it's one of the riskiest things you can ever do in your career. Yeah, it's fucked up. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty fucked up, and it's funny, but wrong because you're laughing at it. It's but it's just still funny. That's.
I'm not saying I haven't seen the movie in a while, but
that's the kind of shit I appreciate when you kind of go, all right, it's wrong, but there's just something about it that's
just weird choices that they do.
Yeah, that's the kind of
what they take seriously and what they don't take seriously. At the Oscars, before the awards started picking up and people started winning certain awards, I didn't think Joaquin Phoenix had a choice or had a chance of winning Best Actor. I thought that they. What's that?
I think he didn't even give a shit if he win or not. He doesn't even give a shit.
What have you? I think that's just him. But I didn't think they would win. They would award someone a win again for playing the Joker. But I was wrong. They did. But part of that goes to another thing is I still don't think the Joker is actually a real Joker movie. I think that was a movie that Todd Phillips made to play homage to Scorsese films, and he just slapped the title Joker on it to make it popular, and because he can't make his raunchy comedies anymore because he can't make movies without having sexist or racist jokes or what have you. Why was Todd Phillips nominated for Best Director as well? Like,
I mean, I told you it was gonna happen.
I'm not surprised that it happened, but I'm saying it shouldn't have happened.
I don't know, man. Like,
but I also don't think Scorsese deserved a nomination this year for Irishman. The Irishman was good. I give it 4 out of 5, but was it Oscar worthy? I don't think so. I think it could have been better.
This is where me and you're gonna split because like with the Todd Phillips thing. So you need to watch this, but like there's like a thing on HBO, The Shop. So basically you have like athletes or like Jamie Foxx and like basically like athletes or celebrities that know each other, but they just talk in a barbershop unfiltered. And and they were talking about that like the not like Todd Phillips specifically, but they were just talking about like jokes like that. And like I kind of disagree, but like mostly agree with him because I was just like, it's just like people nowadays, like I'm not saying like the jokes are wrong or anything, but it's just like it's super sensitive.
I'm not disagreeing with
Well, okay, basically,
I think people do take things too seriously, and they do, and some things are like whatever have you what you're saying there. I agree to an extent, but I watched those movies recently, The Hangover, and like with the first one, I still think it's a good film, but the other two, they have a lot of stuff in there that's like from that time that should have never been funny, but people thought it was funny then, and I don't think he knows how to make a movie without having that sort of. He doesn't know how to adapt. People don't know how to adapt the comedy with the time period that you're in. And I'm not saying like
now this is where
you have to conform to other people. You just don't be a douche. I mean, like.
And that's what I was gonna hit too because it was like. There's like from Survival, like with Eminem songs, like when he goes like I'm not a rapper, I'm an adapter. Like he has adapted with the music industry. Now with Todd Phillips, it's just kind of like continue doing what you do. If you want to put up one of those old jokes from back in the day, if you can make it somehow work with today's thing, like poke at something or have like a good escape, go ahead with it. Like if you can have a good escape route with it, but make that joke land perfectly, go ahead. But don't overextend it because once you overextend it, you're done. Like you're gonna get like fucking criticized, and that's what the point where I'm just gonna be like, dude, you just take it too far at this point. Like remember the host from the Golden Globes?
Ricky Gervais, yeah.
Ricky Gervais. You didn't like him, but I liked him because like he still like I thought it was funny, but certain things actually. I think there was just things I was like, ugh. But
I didn't find him funny, but I don't think I've ever found Ricky Gervais funny on his own. But and part of my problem was that is people's reaction, because you have all these Republicans, you have all these people, Trump supporters, who like had this like reaction to him saying this about celebrities speaking up about their political beliefs and stuff that they stand for when they come up to accept an award.
But some of those guys are guys that actually like that went through the fucking struggle, like Brad Pitt. Like he wasn't fucking born privileged. Like he was a country ass kid from fucking Oklahoma.
Right. Who was packed as shit, came out to LA and made something of himself.
No, like did him being a really good looking guy help that? Yeah, but his talents took him further. Like, but anyways, it's just like some of those guys are like actually guys like, hey, like I'm privileged, but I mean I know like a lot what the struggle is, but I can still try to make my friends' or my friends' families have a better life, or at least a life close to what I have right now.
Well, and I was thinking about this when I was watching the Oscars last night. Does it get old sitting there watching people come up and accept an award and talk about their the politics and everything?
It does.
It does. I agree. But it's their time to do it. It's their time to talk about whatever they want to talk about, and they have the platform to talk about it.
Yeah, it's just like
So they should be able to do that.
and one thing is just like, yeah, these guys have won awards. Yes, these guys have like a major influence on millions of people. But the thing is, when you take away that, there's still people that can vote, and people that maybe or maybe not can be affected by this, or have families that could be affected from it, or friends that could be affected from it. Because like, keep in mind, some of these people probably still are in contact with people they know from elementary, and probably those friends are probably what like some like construction workers right now. It's just like and also like the global warming thing, like when him saying like with was it with Greta, I was just like when Ricky said that, I was just like, dude, like
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know what you're talking about now, but
Well, when he talked about like that little girl that's fighting like for
he talked shit about her too.
yeah, that's the one I just disagree with. Like this girl is like
Yeah, you can go
she's doing like more than what me, you, him, more people will ever do in our lifetimes when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And like I honestly like I actually look up to this girl. Like she's just phenomenal. She's phenomenal what she's doing right now. But you know, back to the Oscars. But yeah.
Let's talk about another complaint. Well, yeah, let's talk about another complaint. All of the fucking music that was happening. Was I watching the Oscars or was I watching the Grammys? What was happening? Like,
I actually like the Eminem thing. Yeah, lose yourself in the moment.
I didn't for a couple of different reasons. One, I'm not an Eminem fan, so there's that. And two, he won that Oscar like almost 20 years ago. Why did he show up? Why? Why did you have that? Why did you, like?
I don't know. Like so the story behind it was when he won it, he didn't think that he was gonna win, so he never showed up. He just stayed home with his daughter.
Whatever.
But I was just like, I don't know. Like I was just kind of like, why in the hell is he there? But I was just like, yeah, whatever. I like the song, so let's go. All right. I'm ready to work out at fucking 10 at night, so let's go.
We had that really awful opening too, with everyone singing and dressed up as like Joker and different characters from like Midsummer and.
I checked out that.
Sucked.
You know, I'm just gonna tell you this off like who it was and all that later, but I'm not on camera. But so I checked it on Twitter, saying like that was pretty much characters that or actresses or actors characters that should have been nominated but didn't. That was just basically that opening was just like throwing shots at the Academy kind of thing.
But Joker was in there. Who else was in there? I don't. The only people I remember seeing.
The Midsummer costume.
I remember seeing that and Joker. What else was in there?
That's all I fucking remember. I'm sorry. That's just. I'm not saying the opening was horrible or anything, but I was like Brad Pitt when they asked him to sing. I was like that. I'm like, eh.
It's not for me. And we had all of the nominated songs performed, which I understand to an extent. I understand why that's there. I personally could do without it. I think you could show a clip and be done with it.
We're doing a commercial break.
The what?
We're doing the commercial break.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Like.
Or do it in one of those like the actor parties.
And I know that you can't be biased in this. The song won, but if you're doing it just for views, and I'm not saying they should do this because I don't think you should do this. If you're gonna play one of the songs, you should play all of them out of the 5. But it makes sense to play something like, say, Elton John for views versus whatever the hell I had to listen to for Breakthrough.
They played that?
What? Yeah, they played the song for Breakthrough. It was nominated for an Oscar.
Damn, I must be taking a shit when that happened. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to. I'm pretty sure it was a wonderful song. I'll check it out, but
I don't know. It's way too much music. I'm trying to watch an award show, just like for a film. Everything just went on for too long. Obviously we talked about the jokes. Most of the jokes fell flat. People that were up there talking, presenting awards went on forever. I'm like, what is happening?
here's also the thing with the presenters. I think people need to stop doing jokes and just get straight to like just have like a little like nice speech, pretty much like going like, all right, like this blah 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 brings this into blah blah blah. Here are your nominees, so that can give more time to the people that won the award a chance to talk, because like I forgot who it was, but when those people that from Bombshell won and they just cut the mic from that girl, I literally got mad.
Dude, yeah, exactly.
They need
How long did that Steve Martin, Chris Rock thing at the beginning go?
Not
forever.
Not just like forever. Like if that was like the only thing for the night, I would have been cool with it. But like with the Will Ferrell thing, that was overextended.
The Will Ferrell one went too long too. Even though I found that one more funny, but
Kristen Wiig
and man, that one went on forever too.
Ooh, I legitimately started getting really mad about that. I was just like, oh my god, just fucking say the nominees already.
And I feel like that's just them promoting that new movie that's coming out too. And Will Ferrell has that new film coming out too with Julia Dreyfus, but just so long, and like they stopped. The joke wasn't funny. I was just irritated. Just announce the awards.
It's just like y'all are freaking Saturday Night Live alumni. Will Ferrell, you have a soccer club in Los Angeles, but you're like a 10% stake into it. So like fucking have ads over the fucking stadium. And I support that club, unfortunately. Yeah, so. It's like it just really hurts me because like these are people that may probably never get a chance to win again, and they're probably in the moment and they have so much to say. And like, and you just cut the mic off those people, or at least like let them continue talking. You just go to straight commercials, and I would have been cool with it, knowing like it's just probably like, oh, they're probably going to show the extended version on YouTube later.
Yeah.
It's just like if they fucking cut the mic on me, I would have got a fine from Disney because my ass would have started cussing people out. I'll be like this, well, fuck, instead of Fast and Furious movie, so fuck you. Universal pays well, bitch.
Who are the other presenters? Sorry, blacking out, I think.
I can't fucking remember. I know, like, obviously, like, the last year's winners have to do the...
Right, so we had Mahershala Ali present Best Supporting Actress, Regina King Supporting Actor, giving that to Brad Pitt.
Then Rami Malek,
and
my mom going, being like, my man Bradley Cooper should have been up there. That should have been
Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga both should have been up there instead of Rami Malek and Olivia Colman. But, you know.
Then obviously the Best Picture and Best Director, dog. If this guy say he's gonna drink, I will hang out with him. At that after party, I'll be like,
he sure had a lot to say.
I mean, it's a pretty.
He was up there 4 times, or whatever.
I mean, being someone who's privileged to be the same nationality as the best directors right now, you know, seeing a fellow foreigner, it's
You're
pretty
Korean?
Good. I said a fellow foreigner, right? I just said fellow Korean. But anyway, I don't know. It's pretty cool seeing Bong, because he has made some pretty good films. He has more really good films under his belt, so it's pretty cool.
No, I'm not taking anything away from his best director win. I
Dude,
do, you know,
oh, you can tell like he wasn't expecting none of it. Like he was just like, I'm just happy to be here.
would I have liked Tarantino to win best director? Sure. My favorite filmmaker. But if I'm going off who deserved it, I do think he deserved to win best director this year.
Dude,
So
I thought Sam Mendes was gonna walk out with that shit. I was ready for it. I was like,
I'm glad he didn't. 1917 is definitely not as good a film as Parasite.
even Sam Mendes is like, shit. Sam was like this, like 40-yard dash.
I'm glad he won best director. That was well deserved. But let's talk about the other ones, okay? Oh, and best international film, obviously he should win that.
That was a big duh.
But let's talk about the main one that it 100% did not deserve to win, and that's original screenplay.
Who the fuck won that again?
What?
Who the fuck won that again?
Parasite.
Oh, Parasite. Oh.
And it did not deserve to win best original screenplay. It did not. Once Upon a Time was the best screenplay of 2019. It was. And once again, though, if you take that out of it, if you're saying that I'm biased and you take Once Upon a Time out of it, Marriage Story is a better screenplay than Parasite.
I don't know, dog. I think this is the point where me and you gotta get Audible and print the scripts out and just see ourselves. Just go like this.
I'm a very, dialogue-driven person. So, like, looking at Marriage Story and looking at that dialogue and looking at, because we've talked about that, have the performances and everything.
Oh yeah, the dialogue in Marriage Story, especially for that bitch not being improvised.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like how incredible that was, and it wasn't improvised. Like that was written. Like it's
yeah. Like they followed, like they literally, like they followed, like it's like when you get the instructions for like a new bookshelf and how to build it, they follow that bitch to a T.
The Best Picture win, I don't agree with. Like I said, there's other films I think that I would have preferred to have seen. Once Upon a Time, Marriage Story, and I think JoJo was definitely more deserving of a win than Parasite. But I do think it's an excellent film. So
for that category,
there's only so much I can say as far as Best Picture goes. Because if you look at every aspect, it does have, hit the mark for every aspect. Cast was great, directing was great, cinematography was great. Did have a good story. So like all that stuff. So and it had a good message, I guess. So like I can understand, but I still think JoJo should have beat it if you're going off of every aspect.
Yeah, I don't know. Like honestly, there were only 3 I saw like possibly winning. Like it was the joke. It was Joker. Just
I would have lost my mind.
1917 and Parasite. Those were like the 3 I saw coming. Like I wanted Marriage Story to win. I wanted possibly Once Upon a Time. Jojo Rabbit. But I was just like, these are movies I don't know. For some reason the Academy was just like, nah, cuh.
I didn't think Parasite had a chance, and that's because it is the internet.
Me neither. Well,
I didn't think the Academy would do it. And
I mean, it was still up there for me, but I was just like, it was just one of those like, I mean, they didn't give it to Roma, and Roma was just like sweeping the Oscars last year, like if it was like the NBA Finals.
Parasite is a better film than Roma, though.
But you know where I'm going with this, though.
Overall, like, but yes, I agree.
Not, like, I'm not saying like by film quality, but I'm saying more like awards. Like there was just like it was like La La Land and Roma. They were just sweeping. Like it's just like the 7, like the best 7 series. Nah, they were just like, nah, we just need 4 games. And then by the last, it's just like I just didn't like. I just expected them like go like sweeping all the awards except the major one, and they fucking give it to Paris. I was just like, sons of bitches did it. Those crazy sons of bitches did it. I was like Jeff Goldblum, son of a bitch did it.
And like I said, I gave it a 4.5. It's definitely better than some of the past movies. It's definitely. I still can't believe that Green Book won last year. Like that's really, just looking back on it, that's crazy.
Dude,
Because
there's some moments. You want me to tell you why? The only reason why I still remember that it won Best Picture.
why?
Because I like the actors. That's pretty much it. That's the reason why I remember.
And I don't think that Mahershala Ali. I don't think should have won for Green Book either.
Oh no, like he is like this guy never delivers a terrible performance. No matter what, he
No,
never delivers.
definitely.
He will always give you his one. Even like in Alita, he gave his 110% at like you like he will. He's just like, nah, I ain't for me about the money. This is like I gotta put in my like mama mentality. Like
No, I'm definitely a fan. He was
he's committed to what
fantastic
he does.
in the earlier stuff that I saw him in with Place Beyond the Pines. He was great in that. He was great in House of Cards in the earlier seasons.
What is it like? Even the one he did with Matthew McConaughey. When he was like with the dude with the slave.
I didn't watch it. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so like the movie was but the performance is really well.
Free State of Jones.
Yeah, and like he was really good, and I was just like, man, this guy really does he really does put like everything, like he pours his like
he's great.
And everything into everything. But yeah, you're right. He shouldn't want like.
I don't think he.
Well, there was.
I'd have to really go back and look at it, but I don't really think that I would have nominated him or Viggo Mortensen for Green Book.
Well, nominations.
I don't think I would have nominated anything for that film.
I mean, the nominations, there were something I just like. I mean, the performances, I was cool with those. Like the nominations,
they weren't bad. They just they weren't award for this whole thing with Laura Dern. It's like they weren't bad. They were fine.
And like even like with like, and also the thing is just like, what's up with superhero films? Like I think Avengers Endgame should have got nominated for like best adapted or something. Oh, there are some visual effects. You fucking.
I mean, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I don't think I would have been nominated for a screenplay. I don't think I would have. But there are definitely things that I think it should have been a consideration for. I do think Avengers Endgame should have been considered for Best Picture. For a lot of reasons, just the cast, the acting, everything, about it, directing. I think Best Cast Ensemble is an Oscar they need to think about putting in. Like also Robert Downey Jr. I don't. Once again, I wouldn't have put him in the category for supporting actor or lead actor or whatever. He wouldn't have made the cut for me this year, but he should have been in the conversation. Scarlett Johansson, obviously, I wouldn't have argued with you if you suggested her being nominated for her performance as Black Widow in Endgame, but she had two other superior performances this year, so they kind of definitely overshadowed that. But that's the whole thing. Look at it. Look at Infinity War. Infinity War was incredible. It's the modern day Empire Strikes Back. Like what that film was then is what Infinity War I think is now. And you disagree?
Oh no, it's about
Josh Brolin, I think his performance in Infinity War was very overlooked. And it's because he was playing a motion capture character. But not only is Thanos like iconic now as a villain, but that was an amazing performance. And that was Josh Brolin.
Man, if he got nominated and won that thing, they had to make another one just for that tennis ball. That tennis ball did some work too. Okay, you got to recognize that ball.
I think he should have got a supporting actor nomination last year.
I don't know. Like at first, I disagree with you, but like I've seen the movie over 10 times in theaters, and like I agree with this guy. Really, this guy changed the tone of his voice, and like even the facial expressions. Yeah, the visual effects did help, but that would have been possible if he didn't do those facial expressions himself.
Yeah, but when you take that into consideration, you're like, well, if you said that the visual effects, you can't just give it to his performance, the visual effects. Well, then,
it wouldn't be possible without his own facial expressions, though. It wouldn't be possible.
You have to look at every film, and you're like, well, that performance didn't matter because the makeup design. So
it's just like that's also one thing.
Charlize Theron not worthy of her nomination because of the makeup people turning her into Megyn Kelly.
It's just kind of like, are you just saying this just because it's a superhero film? It's like a theme ride, whatever.
That's what they're saying, and we haven't really seen.
I mean, like, God damn it, man! You know how I feel about Logan. That you got nominated for Best Picture. The Dark Knight. I don't even know how that even didn't get anything, but Black Panther did. I still enjoy Black Panther. I'm just like
Black Panther should not have got nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, like I mean, I still enjoy it. Me, you still enjoy it. But it's just
I enjoyed it.
But it's just like.
But it's not Best Picture.
It's not a film that I'll go like, yeah, that's.
It's not one of the best comic book films.
No, like
The Dark Knight is still the best comic book film I think of all time.
And it wasn't Logan
and not only was it the best comic book film of all time, it was the best film of 2008, and it wasn't even nominated for Best Picture.
Mm.
Logan, I think it should have been nominated for Best Picture. I think 100% Hugh Jackman should have gotten a nomination, and Patrick Stewart should have gotten nominations for that film. As far as the film, I love the film. I can understand some arguments about certain parts of it, if you wanted to argue against it. But ultimately, they nominated it for adapted screenplay, which
it should also got like a Best Director.
I think that would be, I wouldn't be against that either because James Mangold is fantastic. But you look at that film, and it's a genre film. Sort of, right? Like it's supposed to be like a modern day type Western. You look at Joker. I don't really consider that a comic film because you're really comic booky.
The Academy likes Westerns, so that's pretty much why I made the cut.
And I don't know. With Black Panther, I don't really think I think it was a popularity thing. I think that's a lot of the reason why that film was nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah. Like it sure does have the elements of a Best Picture. It does. Like if probably with some sort of performances, certain, and like with the costume and the score, it does have like the ingredients for a Best Picture. It was just like, I mean, it's just like it doesn't mean just because you have the ingredients doesn't mean the meal's going to turn out like it may be good and you can be like, okay, this is good. But it's not gonna be like God damn, they're like oh, like this was delicious, like the best thing I ever had in my life. It's just one of those like meals, just like yeah, I'll have it again. But it wasn't something like you would just like you'll close your eyes and just savor the flavors. But we'll go back to it and watch it again. You goddamn right we will. God damn that score.
Yeah. The score is incredible. I don't know when they're finally going to nominate a comic book film that is a true comic film just based on its greatness.
Bro, you just have Tarantino, DiCaprio be in that shit. Have a Brad Pitt cameo. Have Daniel Day-Lewis as the villain. That'd be cool. Him taking it. He's like an intergalactic villain for a year on set. That'd be great. So yeah, there you go. Boom.
Maybe Matt Reeves. Maybe his Batman will finally get us a. I doubt it.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. The positive thing about Black Panther, taking away like the popularity, it did open that door for potentially having another comic book movie get nominated again. That it does leave that door open though.
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't have been the film to be the first one? No. But it did leave the door open for other potential comic book movies. Like, or at best left it crack so like the movies can at least like just.
But and I was thinking of this too. Which in general I think Infinity War is a better film than Black Panther. Yeah. But let's take Infinity War out of this too. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was better too.
That should have got nominated for best film. That wasn't just
I
an.
think it should have gotten Best
That
Picture
that was just a good film. Period.
uh, but it had, it had the comic book thing going for it, and the fact that it was an animated film. And for the most part, and I'm not a huge animation guy, but I think films should get nominated for their greatness, no matter what kind of film they are. And not many times you see an animated film get nominated for Best Picture.
That shit made me cry. That shit made me cry 3 times.
I mean, I give it. It's a 5-star film for me.
It's perfection. It's perfection.
Yeah, it's great.
Like it's better than my grandma tamales. I'm just kidding. I'm not going that far, but yeah, it's. I don't know, man. Like it's just kind of like it's gonna be like that one guy that we know and you despise. You know what I'm talking about? Is guys like him, guys like you, guys like me, that we have like different tastes in movies that's going to change the academy in the next 40 years. Yes, those minds are not going to get along, but it's going to expand the options for more movies to get nominated.
Yeah.
Like for example, what that we're talking about is probably going to give like other movies for that to get more exposure, rightfully so. So I don't know, like I just hope this can also like.
Well, the guy you're talking about though, only, like.
Foreign films, and yeah, I know.
Well, no, not foreign films. It's just being judgmental about a film based on the genre, or based off not even the genre, based off what you think of the film before you go into it. It's like the whole thing I was saying about animated films. I'm not a big animated film guy, but am I going to watch an animated film and be like, man, this movie sucked just because I don't really like animated films? No.
Well, I already told you the thought process because like I took that thing, which now looking back on, I think just I won't say stupid.
I understand your thought, the thought process or whatever,
Yeah,
but I disagree with it.
I want to say it's stupid, but I'm just with you. I completely disagree with it. Like if that shit doesn't feel authentic to you, then it's just kind of all right, cool.
It's based off everyone's opinion. It's based,
Yeah.
everyone has their own opinion. It's all what they think.
Yeah, like you like beer, I like sparkling water. Just like
You like Truly,
I don't fucking like Truly, alright. But it is right here though, my prop. But yeah, I don't know. Like I just have a feeling we're gonna keep seeing the same BS for the next 20, 40 years. To be honest, and and I just feel like even throwing other sports analogies is like the Oscars are going to become like the NFL Hall of Fame. It's just like
I just want the Oscars to be what it should be, and that's awarding films based on the film's quality, the single performance from that film,
not just because like
and being a celebration of movies.
Yeah, like it just also is just like, and also not because you're pitying a movie or you're pitying an actor saying like, oh, it's their time to come, or saying like, oh, this.
I
No,
don't
like
want that. I don't want
it's
politics going into it. I'm tired of that too. Nominating, I don't want you to nominate someone just because you feel like you need to nominate them.
yeah. Like, dude, there's a lot of movies with, like the situation, but I'm not gonna go like, I want that shit out for Best Picture. No, like no, like if this movie's good, but it happens to have like a certain like thing with a current theme in today's era, okay, cool. Let's explore the whole. But it's just like no, no. The movie should if you're gonna get nominated, it's because like what you just said. Like we're not going to hang out awards because like just because we're trying to give out the first award for like the first person being this or the first person being that or the first no like you if you win it great but you happen to be the first one, awesome, fantastic. We're making progress in the industry because like one thing is just like diversity and all that doesn't start in the academy. It starts within Hollywood where you start out at. Then from there,
Exactly. It goes to studios, goes to people making, hiring decisions, giving people jobs, them hire. Really, it's the studio. It's the studio level
who do you think?
because it's based on who they hire to make the film, who they hire to write the film, who is hired to come in and do costume design, hair design, makeup design, all of these different aspects. It's that level.
That's where we got to start our first.
Where we need to start with the diversity.
We got to work our way up. Like me and you are great for diversity, but it shouldn't be fucking first. It should not be forced. And it should start within studios. And once we get that crossed out of the list, then we can work our way up to the academy. But that's the only way it's going to change. That's the only way it's going to change. And that's when the academy is like, they're not going to be felt forced to it. They're just going to be like, all right, we just happen to have movies with a lot of like LGBTQ, more African Americans, more Hispanics, more Asians. We just happen to have more of that. Yeah. Because studios happen to have more open-minded.
Because a lot of what I have heard this year from people who think other people should have got nominated that weren't nominated wasn't people that should have actually been nominated. It was just people that were in maybe popular films, like Lupita Nyong'o for Us. Not a performance that I think should have all been nominated for an award.
And we love Lupita, dog.
But how many people are actually talking about Ana de Armas getting nominated for Knives Out? And I think she should have been nominated for that.
Or people not talking about Brad Pitt's performance. Like, I think the only ones that are only talking about are people that like actually watch film. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Or Adam Driver's performance in Marriage Story. Like, the only people you know is unless you really watch a film or unless you like watching film. Mostly everyone's talking about like Joaquin Phoenix, rightfully so. I'm not gonna throw that away. It was still a good performance.
It wasn't a bad performance. But as far as Joaquin goes, I've seen better performances from him in other films. I think.
Like The Line. But that's
There's a movie that came out last year. It's called Don't Worry, He Won't Go Far on Foot, or Won't Get Far on Foot. Did you watch that?
I have not. I have not come to it, but it's on my list.
I think it's on, or I think it was on Amazon. I want to say it was on some streaming service.
It should still be on Amazon.
It was solid. Like, I would have nominated him last year for that, but no one watched that movie.
No,
no one cared until he played the Joker, and like that's what people like.
I don't know. Add Vin Diesel, The Rock to it, and maybe people might give it a chance. And maybe Michael Bay can direct it.
Maybe The Rock. Vin Diesel. People don't care about Vin Diesel unless it's Fast and Furious. Let's be honest. Nobody was going out for that. No one was coming out for that Triple X movie a couple of years ago.
Well, I watched.
We worked there when they had that. No one was coming out for that movie.
Oh no, man! The only thing I remember was just that reference about Neymar and Samuel Jackson going goal. I was like, I watch soccer. I know who Neymar is. After that, it was just like me going like.
He's got that Bloodsport movie coming out this year too. That's gonna bomb.
It's gonna bomb, but I'm still gonna check it out.
I'll probably watch it too because I got like this special thing. If I watch so many movies from Sony, I get like so many points. So yeah, I'll watch it.
You sound like those whole people from Regal. My points.
Hey, if ever get to the point where I'm like going up to like a guest services complaining about points, yeah, that'll be the end for me.
What was that Harvey Dent quote from The Dark Knight? that dies.
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
You're gonna be like, just gonna look at yourself in the mirror like the Joker.
Man, I'll tell you, like, back when I used to work there, that was like the worst thing. Getting called up to guest services for a customer and going up there and then they're being like, "Can you add these points onto my Regal card?" Hey, there's this thing called the app, and you can literally just go on there and add the points on.
You know what? You're gonna hate me for this. Let's make a closing montage real quick before we go off topic.
Closing montage?
Yeah, so I mean like a closing basically. So you can, I know you can cut out stuff.
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna edit any of this. I think it's pretty solid. I'm excited for our viewers to listen to our conversation here and
Like
hopefully tell us what they think as well, because I want to know what you guys think of the Oscars. Did you guys think that who won should have won? Do you think other people should have won? Do you think other people should have been nominated? What do you think about the ceremony in general? The musical guest? What would you like to see in the future? Do you think we should get a host next year? If so, who do you think the host should be? Yeah, just let us know. There's also a thing that I want to point out real quick. And I don't know if this is still like a thing. I don't know why I have this column in my head. I don't know if this was a thing recently, but when I was watching the video, it was saying how like ABC may like at some point not have the Oscars anymore, and the Oscars might go up in the air for other networks to choose. What would you think if one day the Oscars were on streaming? Do you think that's ever possible?
Netflix, but I think Netflix won't. But Netflix is gonna be like, y'all better have one trophy for us one day. Like Netflix is gonna be like that.
I don't think it ever will, and here's why. ABC is owned by Disney. So, who's going to outbid Disney? It's not going to be Netflix. I don't think. Unless Disney just really doesn't want it. Because,
I would say Warner Brothers with HBO Max, but the only way that ever happened is they got to get their own stuff, like their own products in check first before they start, at least when they get close to Disney's level.
If that happened, that could be something that I could potentially see.
Like Warner Brothers has so much potential.
Or Amazon.
Oh yeah, Jeff Bezos, like just with his pockets alone.
Those are possibles. I don't think Netflix is a possible, but I think Disney has it as a lock right now. And if obviously they have it on ABC now, so they're not going to move it to Hulu or whatever else. If Disney has it, they're going to keep it on ABC. And it's only good for them because they have these commercials with like Eminem that they're partnered with that was on every commercial. So that's just more money. And
just to add like a little like insult to injury, I guess you can say it. So the Oscars had like a sort of like a post game analysis, like a post game thing, and they had a dude from ESPN, and this dude specializes in football, basketball, and they had him there. And I love the dude because I watch him on ESPN. Like I've watched this guy like growing up. It's Stephen A. Smith. But I was just like, and this dude is like literally like a walking meme. Like I sent you his videos. Remember the one was like on Please Answer My Prayers and all that.
I don't remember.
I'll send you this stuff
okay.
and it will refresh your memory. But like I was just like, dude, the Lakers are not playing right now. What the hell are you doing in LA? I was just like, dude, like, shouldn't you be in New York right now, being in bed for the show? But no, he was there talking about the Oscars, and I was just like, well, damn. All you're doing right now is just producing meme material for Twitter.
I don't know. Well, we'll see how next year the Oscars go, I guess. But let us guys know what you think of it, and we'll see you next time. We got some other cool videos coming up for you guys. Thanks for watching us today.